Hi, it's Jen. Have you ever talked yourself out of something before you even tried? Have you ever let fear stop you from doing something because you didn't think that there was room for you, or that maybe you weren't smart enough, or that no one would listen, or that for one reason or another it just wouldn't work out? Have you ever been so afraid to try something simply because you thought that you'd fail? What do you do when situations like these arise? Well, let me let you in on a little secret. Your fear is lying to you. Our emotions serve a purpose, and fear's purpose is actually to protect us. It's meant to warn us of potential danger, to keep us alert and ready. But when it comes to fear of failure, what is it about failure that we're actually afraid of? Within this very question lies the answer to getting past it. Let's break down first what failing entails and what we're actually most afraid of. As an example, I'll use the fears that I had when starting my own business. When I first decided to enter the world of coaching, to say that I was terrified is an egregious understatement. I was plagued by fears of not being good enough, that I wouldn't get enough clients, that my kids would go hungry because I didn't have enough income, and then we'd end up being homeless, that I'd put so much stress on my husband that he wouldn't be able to support us, and he'd get so fed up and leave, that I'd be a huge disappointment, ruining my own life, all because I decided to follow some silly dream. These fears haunted me, but it wasn't until I really looked into them and shined light on them so that I could see them for what they really were. None of them were realistic. They were all simply worst case scenarios that I was creating in my own head. I had been catastrophizing the entire situation, so I broke them down one by one. The fear of not being good enough, I know that I can help. I've got a beautiful message and I am the one to deliver it. It was a divine charge given to me, and I know that I'm more than enough. Otherwise, it wouldn't have existed in me in the first place. The fear of not getting enough clients, well, getting the clients wasn't the job. Showing up is. Continuing to be present and doing the work is. God, source, universe, whatever you'd like to call it, will bring the clients to me. Just like a lighthouse doesn't go out to the boats shouting, "Hey, there's land over there." It simply shines its light and the boats know where to find land. And then there was the fear of my kids going hungry or ending up homeless. Let's be 1,000% honest. I would never let that happen, period. If I had to adjust and get a job or move in with family, I know that my kids will always be taken care of. The fear of my husband leaving us because I stress him out, again, fully honest. I'm completely confident that he always has my back, and I know with full certainty that our relationship can weather anything. The fear of being a disappointment. Well, then I had to really look into being a disappointment to whom? To anyone else? Well, I don't really care what other people think. That's not my business. But to my kids and to my family, they'd be disappointed if I didn't follow my dreams. I felt all these fears, shined light on them, and poof, they disappeared. So I felt the fear, thanked it for making me aware, and then let it go. I got out of my way, out of my head, and came back to myself, back to my goals. I took a deep breath and pressed on. Why do I mention the deep breath? Well, that happens to be a key for me when facing my fears. My Peloton coach, Dennis Morton, says that taking a deep breath lets our bodies know that we're safe. And when we're safe, we move freely, easily, and joyfully. Failure or failing may seem like the end of the world, but it's only a failure if we stop and let it be, or if we don't learn from it. Because that's what failure really is. It's an opportunity to learn. Brene Brown says that when failure is not an option, we can forget about creativity, learning, and innovation. What terrible things to miss out on. Creativity, learning, innovation, these help us grow, progress, and develop. Failure shouldn't be framed as a negative thing. It's simply an opportunity. With all of that being said, more often than not, the fear of failure is actually a fear of success. What? Why on earth would I be afraid of success, you might ask? Well, because it would require you to change, to develop, to stretch, to grow, to get uncomfortable. If you succeed, who would you have to become? What would you have to lose? What would change in your life? What would it mean if you were in fact successful? If you believed that wealthy people were snobs or Scrooges, then what would that say about you if success brought you wealth? If you believe that successful people are cutthroat and heartless or lack compassion, then what would that say about you reaching your own goals? When we have thoughts or beliefs like these, we can limit ourselves and therefore get in our own way of obtaining our goals. This would require us to change our beliefs in order to succeed. And sometimes the thought of change is enough to stop us from continuing on. Maybe you believe that to succeed would require a ton of hard work. It would require a next level you, a you that is dedicated to learning and practicing. It would require getting additional certifications or trainings. Or maybe you believe that to succeed would require you to grow, and that might mean leaving people behind who don't have the same drive as you, and that might be enough to stop you from continuing on. But if none of these deter you from running towards your dreams, my friend, it is time to get moving. Take that step, take that inspired action. Don't let fear stop you. You've got this, love. I'm Jen, and I wish you a life abundant with joy, my friend. Cheers to you. Take care.